What's going on, guys? So today on this SHOKY review, we're going to be taking a look at the Patreon pick from Megan Summer, and we have the GUNPLA Builders Beginning GHG GPB X80-30F Beginning 30 Gundam. That's a whole lot of a mouthful. And it is from the series that kind of started the whole build fightery thing with Gunpla Builders. They kind of, that's where all of that stuff came from, and could potentially be the prequel to Build Divers, but they haven't necessarily connected that series together. But either way, so this is, I think, the last version of the hero suit. I could be wrong about that. I'm not entirely certain, but I know that the beginning Gundam came up actually again in Build Fighters. So this series existed in Build Fighters, which is weird in and of its own right. But yeah, so the beams and all kinds of weird stuff, and the fact that he has a ton of beam sabers is all part of the design of that Gundam. Well, let's talk about the box. And you got an image right there of the beginning 30. I don't know if that's a reference to 30 years of Gundam at that point. I honestly, I'm not entirely certain, or what it has to do with. Like I said, don't really know much about the series. It's all drawn out, and then you got kind of a CG rendering in the background. You've got all these beam effects. You've got a compass going on right here. And you have a bubble over here with other Gunpla in it, including the OG Bear guy and the Sazabi from that series, which is kind of cool. You got Bandai 2011, made in Japan, down here. And then actually, way over here, you have the artist of Shigeta Atsushi. I am sorry. Oh, that's not an easy one to pronounce, but it's a good looking box. It's what definitely stood out to me when the dude sent me the pictures of stuff. So I was like, ooh, that one, it's all colorful and stuff. And colorful it is. But if you come to the bottom, you've got obligatory front and rear shot right there, along with a read-up of the pilot slash creator right there. You got a little history on the series itself, and then you got a, hey, this is how you build Gunpla thingy here. And then, oh look, it goes on a stand. And you come on the side, you got the obligatory repeat of the box art. Looks pretty good, of course. Oh wait, this is number 006 in this line. Interesting. Okay, so maybe there weren't that many kits from this line. I'm not sure. And you've got more read up here. And you've got more read up here about the beginning 30. It's pointing out the different things about the weapons. There it's pointing out shield. Then I'm guessing it's saying something about clear, translucent beer effects. There's the other thing. I have no idea. Then you got weapons. He's got beam sabers all over the place. Oh, hey, look. Old school obligatory warning right there. Do not stick the beginning 30 in your 3-year-old's face because he'll get green boogers in it. And then you got the little guy with toilet, PSPE ABS, and 2,200 yen. So actually, surprisingly pricey kit for what it is. But given the amount of plastic that's in it, like we saw in the unboxing, well, yeah, price makes sense. So, beginning 30 Gundam, still upside down. Sorry guys, I just woke up from a very long nap. And brain is not functioning entirely. So, let's go ahead and get to the review. This is going to be a weird one. Yay! Alright, guys, so here we have the beginning 30 Gundam in all its multicolored glory. And yeah, they kind of went nuts with the blue and the yellow and the red and all of the triangles. I call this thing the Triangle Gundam. Like, no joke. There's just so many triangles, I got tired of looking at it. And this thing actually was way more work than I thought it would be. One, because there's a buttload of these little blade thingies. I don't know if they're technically funnels. I just know they're weapons of some sort. Or thrusters of some sort. Perhaps I need to look up the actual thing. Stickers weren't terrible, but they weren't great either. So we've got a couple here on the face, the eyes right up inside there on the head. I had the darndest time trying to get the things lined up. The red part of the eyes right below there was in fact part of the sticker, and I really couldn't get it to line up really the way the mold was. It would have been a good case to try to paint. I just wasn't going to go that far. You do get the front camera and rear camera on the head, which is always a good thing. Now you do get a few stickers here on the chest, right there. You got some white right there. And then here on the side of the red bits here, those are also little white stickers. Those don't stand out too bad to me, except that there was some nice molded detail under there that would have been nice to leave exposed. But, you know, it is what it is. When it has to be one color, and then, you know, you just can't do much about it. These blue bits over here on the sides of the arms, also like little wraparound stickers. Yeah, those I could probably leave out, but there's just so much white on this thing. They definitely want to do something. And then you've got yellow triangles down here inside the knee slash calf. That's both on the inside and the outside. Those are weird, and in the fact that I missed them the first go round. There's a couple other stickers that are applied to the shield right here and here. So the red just stands out a little bit too much because nothing else is metallic on this. I don't know why they did that. The white you probably would almost not notice. And then on the gun, you get big white sticker that goes across there just to help break up the color. Plus you get to pull off the whole side panel here, which is not part of the deal. And now I can't get it to go back on. I'll fix that whenever we get to the weapons parts. Now, one thing this guy does come with is a whole lot of translucent. Even the regular beginning Gundam comes with the translucent energy kind of V-fin, which looks okay, but that one's yellow. This one's orange. I don't know why there's that big of a differential here. I'll raise up just a bit so I can hold things up. And all of the clear bits, like I said here, there were 10 that had to go on these blade funnel thruster thingies. I don't actually, once again, don't know what they are. And then you've got six of the bigger red ones here. You got a red piece here on the back of the hand guard. Now it does come with a non-translucent version of that too, so that was from the regular beginning Gundam. And I think, and somebody else mentioned this too in the unboxing video, that realistically it comes with pretty much everything to make the regular beginning Gundam. So, you know, some of these bits are new, so those would be the things that changed. But this thing, it's very, very busy, and not gonna lie, it kind of hurts my eyes a little bit. And it looked cool in design wise, but I don't know if I'm a fan of it yet. But we'll cover that later. Let's go into articulation real quick. We just have standard ball joint to actually invert the neck from normal, so the big part is at the top, little parts at the bottom. So you can turkey neck it just kind of backwards. You can rotate fine. One thing you want to be wary of is these ear tabs back here are two separate pieces. Just be careful, you don't want to knock them off. They're not like Exia bad, where you like might actually clip it with your thumb and they'll fall off, but just be wary, you don't want to grab it by those things. The shoulders are an interesting butterfly joint that they swing forward like so, but there's not really an up and down motion, but the ball joint is captured on this side. It's very, very different style of shoulder that may have only been limited to this series. I don't think they really covered that anywhere else. You can raise the arm up to about there, and you do get bicep rotation and single jointed elbow that is actually really, really tight, if I'm honest. It's got a lot of range of movement, but it's very, very tight. And you can see here a lot of the detail, the different triangles in the form. And then you come down to what I think is the most egregious design flaw of this suit, this kit. He's got curl-up arms. So this is how they tell you to do everything, with the arms, with the palms facing upward. Now this is a normal just kind of punching fist, which is an interesting hand in the first place. You can rotate them, sort of. Like this one may not cooperate, but one of the other ones rotate it for me just fine. But, like, it kinks the wrist at a really strange angle. It really does want you to leave it in that mode. See there, it's actually prying the hand in the socket. So really, it wants you to kind of leave him in this mode. And, well, with the shield that's going to go on there, that's fine. But when it comes to the other side, which he's got a weapon holding hand in there, the other side, you need a little bit more room to play because that's where he holds his beam sabers, his guns, and everything else. So, yeah, it's really strange that they would do that. Now you come down to the waist, and I do believe just a double ball joint. Nothing going on in the main torso, so just a ball joint. I said double, just a ball joint in the middle. You can rotate. There's just so much stuff going on. I mean, you got porcupine back going on here, and he's got beam sabers all along his skirts. I mean, this guy's got more swords than an Exia. It's really, really insane, if I'm honest. The side skirts are the most annoying thing. They're the kind of reverse polycap ball joints, so the round end of the spherical polycap is in the hip and the peg joint is going outward, and this one likes to pop out a lot on me. Plus you're fighting the corners like this right here, front and back, and then also these little bitty red doolies that are hanging out here that kind of interfere with the front skirts. This is one of the ones where I would probably recommend not cutting the skirts. I did, and it seems more problematic than not. So you can see here I'm having an issue just trying to get the skirt up and out the way. So you can do a chorus line. You can kick back fairly well, but he's starting to run into the skirts. He can almost go straight back, which is good. There's no real back butt skirt at all.
Yes there is. You just push them up.
So that's nice. The side skirts get in the way of the Jean-Claude, so you can't really go super far, but it's not that limited, so I can dig it. You've got thigh rotation, like usual. If you kick it out just a little bit, you could go all the way around, but as usual, why would you? You do have double jointed knee for a great range of movement, and you have all the spikiness hanging off here. Like this is a kit that Miss Shoki could not probably look at due to her weird pointy object and eye thing. And as we sort of saw there, you got a lot of range of motion from the ankle. You've got like a whole double hinged ankle here, which honestly I kind of underestimated because I didn't know it could do that. And then here we go, just slings out there. The front ankle armor is on its own pivot, so you can move it around the foot, I guess. The feet are essentially solid, so there's nothing going on there. So to have some range of motion is great. And it does rotate. Okay. See, this is one of those ones when you're building it, you're like, okay, that's cool. It does a thing. And then you go to play the articulation, and you're like, whoa, that's what all that was? So for 2011, this has some very interesting ideas. I don't know. It feels old, you know, considering it's only 2011. Alright, so now let's go ahead and do some weapons and such. We'll go ahead and start with the shield because we've already looked at that. And it's a very interesting design. I don't know what's going on here. I'm just going to throw it. Oh, beam sabers fell off. So once again, he's got hidden beam sabers kind of everywhere. So plug those on there. He does just have a peg that plugs right into the arm, like such. And if you're so inclined, he does have an arm thing. Whatever, once again, don't know what they are. So there's, oops. Some of these things are hard to handle. This is normally plugged in that spot, like that, but it also has a slot that can fit the shield itself, which looks fine. I mean, it works. It's not horrendous. Now, another cool thing it does, he does have an energy shield as well, which we saw in the unboxing. A very large green disky thing. And it's not too hard to screw this one up, even though I nearly did. You just line up all the stuff, and with that pointing backwards, which I think I had reversed here just now, you can do that. And yes, you can be a silly person and throw on all the shields. So now he's got an energy shield and a hard shield at the same time. Interesting. Now, I don't know if this can be used as a blade or if it's just being a shield. I don't actually know where all the green, or what all the green thingies do. And he has plenty of green thingies. Now, once again, he does have the holding hand on the right side. I'm going to go ahead and unplug that real quick. And we'll look at the basic beam saber. So if we come back here to the back, you can pull off just a single beam saber as normal. And he does come with a straight up beam saber blade, which is nice and yellow. And it should just slip right into the hand. Yes, it does, just like so. And you get a pretty good regular beam saber. One problem I have with him is he tends to want to fall backwards. He's a little bit back heavy with all that stuff going on. And all of these up here, all 6 of these are individual beam sabers, which is annoying if I'm honest. Now he does come with another beam weapon. This double bladed beam sabery thing. And I'm just going to knock him over, it's fine. I had to paint that. That is just white Gundam marker painted over the clear translucent, and it looks just as bad as you guys should know it does. I'm not even going to hide the fact it doesn't look that good. I mean, it looks better than it did with all of just the straight translucent. That's 100%. Maybe it's because the knees are slightly bent. I don't know. Considering that he should have a lot of weight on that arm, it's really funky that it's falling over that way. Okay, so the hand is like a basic HG hand, except for that the thumb and stuff come off that way. Let's call this like this. I think it's supposed to be reminiscent of the weapon that Saber uses. I could be wrong. The beam saber looks similar to one of the ones like the new Gundam uses, and I know there's a high new in this series, which is pretty cool. But I don't know. But he can hold that. It looks interesting. This might be the one I'd go with in theory. But, you know, with the paint and everything, he's holding on to that pretty tight. He does have a whole other weapon, and it's a gimmick that we usually see this guy doing, using 3 beam sabers at once. And he can do that because, as we saw in the unboxing, he comes with a hand with 3 beam sabers. And yes, this is entirely painted, except for the back of the hand there. That's a piece that comes with it. So it was all yellow translucent, and you can see even from the side, there's some spots I missed, because, well, you can only do so much with that. And the hand is painted with my favorite dark gray ever, and then the beam sabers are just white. It doesn't look terrible at a glance, but frankly, you don't want to look at it up close, or really want to handle it directly, because then you just end up with paint marks, or fingerprints. So ultimately that looks fine, and that'd probably be my preferred display setup. And it gives him kind of an energy Wolverine setup going on there, which is interesting. And the fact that it is all one piece, I mean, it's not really going to come apart. It might break just because it's translucent, but you know, you're not worried about pieces falling off. Though personally I would love to have that as separate bits and bobbles. And last but certainly not least, we have his, I guess, beam rifle. It's really funky. And it's a very interesting design in and of itself. Man, this guy does just keep falling over. I'm gonna have to, like, I can't, like, plant his feet. It's really strange. Like, I think because the ankle rocks forward, he doesn't have much in the back holding him up, and he just wants to topple all the time. He's honestly never fallen over this much, but I have not been handling him that often. Okay, so back again to the rifle, which has clear translucent right here for some reason, and all this stuff like that. We sell the stickers, and he comes with some of the funnel thingies there, and the side handle here works, and he does have the gun holding hand, which there's no reason to ever take that off. And then you run into the same problem that I brought up before with the elbows and wrists not really facing the same direction. And you can see on the cover that he's supposed to be able to rotate the hand. I don't know what just happened, like the fist came loose. It's like it was nice and tight, now it's loose. In theory, you could do that, but he's going to be deflecting off of the guard on the back of the hand. Seriously, this is just annoying. So at this point, you just... Yes, I'm not very happy with it at this point. In fact, I don't know why it was holding on to that pretty tight. Now it's not. Either way, that's the gun. He can hold it, but it's incredibly annoying. I'm going to leave the hand off from here on out. I'm about done with it, guys. I'm frustrated with it. I thought I liked the design of it, but it has been a fiddly mess ever since. You can go on a stand. You don't just have the regular plug in the bottom there. So this guy's definitely one that would be... A stand would be a requisite, because he wants to fall over all the time. By the way, these things do come off from all of their ports. They don't have a stand. They don't have anything. The only thing they do come with is all of the green feathery bits. I don't know what they do. I don't know what they are. They do stick out the back. You do get two sizes as well. You know, the big and the small. And the small ones are generally in less important places, such as down here. And you're just kind of plugging them on like so. That could be upside down. I honestly don't care that much. And I hate having an attitude. I try to find all the positivity whenever I do these things, and this one is just, I don't know, it's annoying me. It was kind of annoying me in the build, and now that it's just constantly falling over as I'm trying to review it, I'm running out of patience, if I'm honest, guys. And I think it'd be another story if I was familiar with the anime and like had a connection to this Gundam, which definitely helps. The want to want it is usually a big factor, especially in buying Gunpla like this. You know, you want to want the thing that you saw on the screen. You want to mess with it. You want to have an idea of like maybe playing with it or piloting it, especially considering this is a Gunpla Builder series. It's one of those things where the effect matters, and in this case it's a very annoying effect. I don't remember where these went. I got those. I guess I can put them on the ankles. I think that's where they were. Oh, okay, so I put the ankle on one and I put the shin on the other. Okay, that's what I was doing. And as you saw on the box, you could totally put them on the ones that are on the gun if you feel like it. You can put them on the ones here on the side skirts, but those will tend to want to pop off. And I mean, that's just it completed, so to speak. And I guess if you want to throw the back of the hand on there, or the beam saber hand, as it were, which once again is probably going to be my preferred method of display. Though at this point, I'm wondering if I'm going to keep this thing, because it's frustrating me so. Okay, so that doesn't look bad. He's definitely trying to fall over on me, and I'm just resisting it by touching it the whole time. Alright guys, but that's that. And for a quick comparison, now that he's all together, here he is with the HG Revived Grandpa, which you can see is a big departure. Review coming for him soon. And here he is with Wally for size, and then with an MG that doesn't also want to stand properly. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of work to this guy. Get him to behave. So I'm going to take a quick break and come back for final thoughts. Alright guys, so I did put him on a stand, though I can't find my actual crotch peg adapter, so he's just on there with the claw arm. It's been a while since I've used this guy, but there you go. He's actually hovering and in an okay pose. I think the main way that you'd ever want to display this guy is actually on a stand, and may have to actually do something along those lines. I don't know if he can really do it like a toe point. He does a very nice, like it does go the other way pretty well, but no real toe point. I'm trying not to put a lot of undue pressure on the claw arm there, but he does look okay once you get him on a stand. All right, so final thoughts. It's a very, very frustrating design. It's a very frustrating kit, and about midway through building all of these spiky bits, the funnels, whatever the heck they are, I think they look like funnels, and it looks like they would act like funnels. I could be wrong. I could be, I don't care at this point, to be honest. The design is okay. The way it functions is very limited, and everything is super fiddly. Things want to fall off, like all of these. You got to be careful how you're handling it. The bad design of the elbows to wrists is just stupid. I don't know why they would incorporate this rear hand guard, and Thomas Rice suggested cutting it off and gluing it to the back of the hand. And I guess technically that's an option, but I don't think it'll look that good if we're just being honest here. If it was on a minor hinge that would move out of the way, sure, that would be okay. Considering it's a 2011 kit, it does have good parts separation. A lot of these things are individually cut pieces that go together, not a ton of stickers like you would expect with something that has such a variety of colors in such a small spot. So the red, the yellow, the white, all these layered bits here are all individual pieces, with the exception of the stickers we talked about earlier. Same thing over here, we're even including translucents. This little triangle, that triangle, and all that stuff, all separate pieces. So, I mean, that's a positive that you do get that level of color separation and stuff like that. The fact that I would have preferred to have a totally different setup for this tri-beam saber hand, I think would have been much better. I think they could have done something with that, made it better than it currently is. But it does test your painting skills, which in this case mine were pretty poor, mostly because I was using a white Gundam marker, and it's a mess. The gun is an interesting weapon, although flawed in the fact that you can't really hold it very well. It's an interesting design. I kind of dig it without the extra parts here. I think that it looks perfectly fine. Let me show that off just real quick. So without that, I think it's a better looking gun. And these parts are weird. I do like the fact they interlock. That's a very interesting method of working. I don't even know. And yeah, you can use these things over here and give it another thing. I think this is a very stupid option, but it might look cool. I think this is perfectly worthy of a wraparound sticker. I think it has more flaws than it has positives. But for those who love the series, they'll probably love this Gundam. Once again, with no attachment to anything, it's hard to like it. I thought it looked great. I just, at this point, especially with the elbows and the wrist not really lining up to do a thing, having your shield completely fixed to the arm, and especially when there's other stuff that's going to get in the way, it's just a poor design and leaves you very limited posing ability. The stupidity of having a beam and a regular shield is something I have a problem with. I'm guessing realistically you're not meant to use them together, but the fact that you have the option to use them together is a flaw. These eye stickers really having a hard time lining up, that was a problem. But I guess if you can make an original beginning Gundam from the parts you get in the box, which there's still plenty of parts left over, so I guess that's a plus in and of itself. So you can see the parts that you would normally swap out. They're the same parts, or you could tell where they're going to go. Or if you found the instructions, you can make it happen. So there's that. That also includes the beam sabers here. So take with it as you will. It's not a real hard recommend from me. If you have to have it, I guess get it. I was lucky enough to get it. I honestly wish I had chosen a different kit, but I was pretty out of it at the time. And as for builds that I've done lately, it's definitely at the bottom of the list towards enjoyment of things like that. So, but guys, hopefully that was remotely informative. Like I said, give me a big old thumbs up if you do dig this guy. And if you want to see more from this particular series, well, good luck with that. Those kits are really hard to find. I'm just happy that I had the old school Grandpa. Which, if I could, or Grandpa Gundam, or Grandpa Bear, as I call him, because I treat mine like he's an old version of the bear guy. I actually dig that bear guy over the standard bear guy. Just as a warning. Guys, do the Patreon thing, and you can be like the people who got to pick these kits, whether it was this one or the one from last weekend. And of course, it all goes to help the channel, and especially the second channel that has no monetization. So if you're interested in seeing all the other things I like to do with figures, toys, statues, all that kind of stuff, go over to the second channel by all means. That channel is actually growing, which I find funny. So for years it didn't really grow much, and now it's growing again. And well, I've got a lot more stuff to look at, some Transformers and other stuff like that. But guys, I got to get this video done so I can get it out for you guys to see tomorrow. This weird YouTube time travel thing. So I will see you on that next review. And remember, as always, to keep on building. G.